Hello YouTube, Chester Boy here, and today we're taking a look at the Deluxe Hazard Trigger from Kamen Build. This is an upgrade for the build driver that allows Kamen Build to access his hazard forms. See, all you get in the box is this, just the hazard trigger. That's pretty much it. And put this off to the side for now, and let's take a look at the packaging real quick. So we got the hazard trigger, we got Rabbit Tank Hazard up on top, and it shows you what it does, what the hazard trigger does. And of course we have the another form here, which is the Smoffle Wolf form, which pretty much gives you a hint on what my next review is going to be. So, yep. And of course, it does take cell batteries, not AAA batteries this time, since this only makes, you know, sound, not lights. So, yeah. So with that, let's take a look at the hazard trigger. So here's the hazard trigger itself. You can see it is mainly red with some white stripes, and of course some silver paint here on the pipes and the frame of the gauge, the meter. And I kind of disappointed that this piping right here isn't silver, but what can you do? And here's the back. You see there's the QR code for the Gamba Rising game, and of course there was a tab I forgot to pull out. So there you go. And of course we got this little insertion point right here for the build driver. And of course we have a button cover. Well, we have a button cover that covers up this blue button. Of course we got some nice caution stripe sticker right there, which is pre-applied when you get out of the packaging. Well, it's actually applied when it's out of the packaging, so there's no sticker sheet for that. So, which is good. Now this button cover thing is actually reminiscent of the Cosmic Switch from Kamen Force. Since both the hazard trigger and the Cosmic Switch are dangerous to use, so yeah. Now the name hazard trigger, it does look like a trigger, but it's basically this is basically just an object that allows Kamen Build to trigger the hazard forms. It does resemble a trigger. When I first heard this is coming out. Well, the name Hazard Trigger, I thought it was going to be like a gun or something, like a sidearm weapon, but nope. It turns out it's just an upgrade for your build driver, not a sidearm. So, yeah. So let's get into these sounds here. Now, there's actually two sounds on its own when the Hazard Trigger is on its own. So, yeah. Oh, one more thing I want to point out is that there's actually a reset button right here, which we'll get into that in a second. So, let's hear this. Let's hear the two sounds for the Hazard Trigger. So that's that. When you press it again, and there's a good reason why there's a reset button right here. There you go. Yep. See, if you actually do the max hazard on, while the hazard trigger is not on the build driver, or I should say not attached to the build driver, you just press the reset button, that's it. Which is quite useful, in my opinion. So, yeah. Now with that out of the way, let's bring in the build driver. Now let's get into the transformation for Rabbit Tank Hazard. Now there are two ways you could do this. You could put these two full bottles in, or any two full bottles into the build driver, and then put the hazard trigger on top, and then turn the crank. Or if you want to go show accurate, or if you want to be show accurate, I should say, put the hazard trigger on, and then put the two full balls in, and then turn the crank after that. So we're gonna do what's like in the show. So let's get hazardous. You can see there's this little cavity right here, or this little hole right here, which actually does serve a purpose right now. So you get a confirmation sound when you put the hazard trigger on the build driver, and now you kind of see the hazard trigger is actually a bit heavy, so it's gonna tip this over to the left. So yeah. And then from here we actually put the Rabbit Tank full balls. First we gotta shake them, and the rest speaks for itself. they have the transformation tube for Rabbit Tank Hazard. And of course, I might as well show off what the form. Well, I might as well show it again. So basically, well, the hazard tank form, the hazard forms are literally just black armor with 2 colored eyes. And just for another example, you can see it's just the only difference is that the whole entire body armor is black, while the eyes are different. So that's literally what the hazard forms are going to look like, no matter what best match you're going to use. Like I can see the Smoffle Wolf, the Smoffle Wolf bottles being used. So yeah, that's literally what the hazard forms look like. So yeah. And of course, if we turn the crank again. So you get something called the hazard attack. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Now, you press the blue button again.
Hazard on.
And then turn the crank. So you actually get that. So you basically get something called overflow, which is basically after you turn the crank, it'll say overflow, and this is what gives Kamen Build's temporary boosted power when he's in his hazard form. Again, no matter which best match bottle set you're using. So yeah. So now let's take a look at what happens if you do a trial form. Now let's see what happens if you do a trial form. So basically, we're gonna use Rabbit and Diamond. So. Now, as you've heard that, when I put these 2 bottles, they're not considered a best match. It just jumps right to the Dodekon, instead of saying super best match. What if I said there was a trial? If there were trial forms, of course, but like trial hazard forms, like it would say super trial. But no, that didn't happen. But no, I don't know if that's gonna happen or not on the show. But oh well. So I think that's pretty much it. So overall, I do recommend this if you're a fan of the hazard forms, like myself. Since I find them pretty okay. I mean, it kind of looks boring in terms of design. Like you just get black armor with 2 colored eyes. But it kind of looks pretty boring. But I mean, hey, I guess we have to wait until like March for something cooler, like a cooler form. But we'll have to wait and see. So thanks for watching. Yeah, there's not much to say about this really. So this is just an add-on for your build driver. So yeah, it doesn't do anything special on its own. So yeah. So thanks for watching, and if you like some of my videos, then make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon to catch up my latest videos. And of course, follow me on Twitter, and of course, like my page on Facebook. And, oh, by the way, the links are down below as well. And of course, support me on Ko-fi. So if you want to donate to me via Ko-fi, then there's a link down below. Of course, you don't have to do it. I'm not going to force you to do it. So thanks for watching. So the next review I'm going to do is the Deluxe Smoffle Wolf Full Ball set. So I will catch you next time.